I feel like this video is not going to work very well. I'm trying to arrange the camera and stuff, and the lighting, and the sound, and I don't know. I'm going to do it anyway, though. So I feel the camera's a lot further away, but I feel a little awkward, but I think it might make a better video, but who knows. Okay, so this is a stick. Watch this. See that? So you can balance a stick. It's not too hard. The longer it is, the easier it is. And this has to do with the property called the moment of inertia. So the moment of inertia is a property that tells you how difficult something is to change its rotational motion. Okay? So this stick has a moment of inertia depending on how you rotate it. So actually, I could rotate it about the center, and it would have this particular moment of inertia, which is, it's like the rotational mass, right? The mass tells you how hard it is to change its linear motion. The moment of inertia tells you how hard it is to change its rotational motion. So if I rotate it about the center, it has a particular moment of inertia. If I take it about the end, it has a different moment of inertia. Okay. So how do you calculate that moment of inertia for this? So in general, we define the moment of inertia as Can you see that? Let me see. Can I see that? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with it. Okay, this is right at the top. I'll just write in the middle. So this says that the moment of inertia, if I have a whole bunch of point masses, and I want to find the moment of inertia about this point over here, then I have point 1, 2, 3. They all have different masses. Here I have R1, R2, R3. So in this case, I would be M1 R1 squared plus M2 R2 squared plus M3 R3 squared. Can you see that? I think that's readable. Okay. I'm just checking, because new stuff, right? Okay. I don't think I like this system, but we're going to keep doing it. Okay, so now what if I have something like this? And let's do it about, if I'm rotating about this end. Well, this is a stick, right? And so I actually have an infinite number of masses. So how do you deal with an infinite number of masses? Well, you cheat. So the cheat by breaking this into small pieces and then taking the limit as the piece size goes to 0, which is an integral. So we're going to integrate this and find the moment of inertia. Okay, so I'm going to erase this stuff. And let's put So here I have a stick. It has a mass m and a length L. And I'm rotating about this endpoint right there. So I'm going to take a piece, and this is the x-axis. So in this case, I'll take a little piece of size dm, and it's at a location x. And so I could say di is going to be x. Let's see, it actually be dm x squared. That's the same as mr squared, right? Okay, so I can't integrate both sides of that, because how do I add up all those dm's as x changes? What I need is my integration variable, I need this in terms of dm, in terms of dx and x. Now I can't integrate x and dm. So if I look at this little piece right there, let me draw it right here. It has a width of dx and a mass of dm. And so the density of that piece is going to be dm over dx. Mass, the linear density. If I assume it's the same as the rest of the rod, then I have this whole piece has the same density, so that would be equal to big M over L. So now I can solve for dm. dm equals dx m over L. So if I put that over here, I get di equals dm, which is going to be m over L x squared dx. Now I can integrate that because m and L are constants, so it shouldn't be a problem. So now I can integrate I. It's going to be the integral. I'm adding up from x equals 0 to L. I'll put the m over L in the front. And then I get x squared dx. And this is going to be m over L, and the integral, not equals. Okay, you can still see m over L, and the integral of x squared is going to be x cubed over 3 from 0 to L. So when I evaluate the limits, I get m L cubed over 3L minus 0, 1/3 m L squared. Can you see that? Yeah. I can't read, sorry, the screen's too small. So that's I, right there. And that's the moment of inertia of this about the center, about the end. Okay. So 1/3 ml squared. Now, what if I want to do it about the center? Well, in that case, the only thing that changes is I can actually just move the stick. Now I have it like this. I still have dx, but my limits of integration are going to change. So now I'm going to go from negative L over 2 to L over 2. So if I use the exact same final answer, if I just change the limits of integration. So let's put that right here. I center is going to be m over L x cubed over 3 from negative L over 2 to L over 2. So it's going to be m over L cubed over 8 times 3. Oh, that's fine. Minus a negative, because it's going to be next, so it's going to be plus m L cubed over 8 times 3L. So the L's cancel, so I get L squared. This is 24, but I have 2 of them, so I actually get equal to 1/12 mL squared. And that's the moment of inertia through the center. And so, like I said, you should take a stick and rotate it about the center. It's easier to rotate than it is this way. This is a lower moment of inertia than that. Okay, one more problem. I'm not going to solve it. But what if this has a density? Let's say it's not a uniform density. Let's leave it in that case. Let's say a linear density of AX. So that means that the density of the AX plus B. So the density as you get further away increases. So it's denser over here than there. So in that case, you would have to use this as equal to dm over L. And then you'd solve for dm and plug that in, and you have another x term in there and make it a little bit more complicated integral, but it's still the same idea. Okay, moment of inertia of a rod with a new setup.